Welcome back to another show and tell video. Today we're taking a look at a MagLink from MAGPUL, and this is actually an early example, so feel free to check out current product offerings from MAGPUL. They do have a large variety of items, but let's take a look at one of these older versions and see how it has held up. So it's mostly uh, very strong plastic. I'm not sure if there's any reinforcement fibers within the material itself, but it is very strong material. And there are basically two very long screws and two very long frame pieces. So you will need either a coin or a flathead screwdriver for these versions. You could probably replace these with hex head screws of the appropriate length and thread pattern if you wanted to. As you can see, they thread all the way through to this side into a deep countersinked threaded area. If we pull the halves apart, you can see how they go together. And these do have specific front and back sides, as well as the up and down. If you look at the molded in markings, which include a cage code, the patent information, and then the actual MAGPUL company information as well. So that does give you directions as to how to put it together. I like to read it, up to down, and then you can insert the halves together. That way you'll know which way would be up, as well as knowing which way is the front versus the back. If you notice, there's slight dimensional differences. So this aligns with, say, the back groove on the back of magazines, and this aligns to the fronter portion of the magazine. If you look all the way around. So if we actually take a look at some examples here, I'll leave the screws out for now just for ease of movement here. But once you put it together, it is a pretty firm, tight fit. So these are intended for MAGPUL PMAG, possibly also now the newer TMAGs, as well as some of the other close pattern designs, but feel free to check out the actual item descriptions for an exact match. Now, these are not intended for the GI dimensions because, as you notice, this will not fit into the front portion, nor will it fit properly into the back portion either. So you will not be able to actually even enclose a magazine properly. Not even if you try to jury rig it in the other direction. It just won't happen. So these are not an option. Likewise, you cannot mount these in by accident in reverse either, because you'll see you will not get a firm fit. You will have large gaps, and you will not even be able to thread the screws properly. So these only go in one direction. You could actually mount these upside down if you wanted to, but if you want to just mount everything in the same direction, again, if you're just reading up to down, likewise, you can see how these actually would fit into these kind of waffle areas, depending on where you would want to actually place these. You do need to give adequate clearance for the mag well itself. So depending if you like to have this in the middle and have a large grippable area at the bottom for manipulating the magazine set itself, or if you really want to mount it right as close to the bottom as possible, and then have more a dangling area, possibly if you want to quickly slip this into a belt loop or whatever. But let's go ahead and put these together and see how it looks. So I've gone ahead and just for ease of lack of fumbling, uh, put them in where I wanted to and close the two halves. So you can see here These will line along the back groove area there. These specifically fit the contour of the MAGPUL style of magazines, where it's more tapered at the front than a GI magazine. Definitely see the difference in width dimensions. Then the screws do go in the back portion here. I do like to turn them counterclockwise until I get that firm click. That way, prevent cross-threading. Same with this side here. Didn't get a firm click there, so I'm going to continue around with another full revolution. There we go. And then with a screwdriver, I just lightly tighten them. You don't want to over tighten, of course. And it only takes a few seconds just to give you an exact time frame of how long this takes. And literally, that's how long it takes to put two of these together. And to give you an idea of how they look dimensionally in a mag well, we just take an example lower here. You can see that that's how far they would actually go into play here. Now, one thing I have noticed when they are on this side is to always check your clearance against the ejection port cover, because sometimes, depending on the exact dimension tolerances of your upper to lower, it's possible that the ejection port cover could flop down over onto the top of here, or it might possibly get caught between the two, which might make it a little more difficult to close the ejection port cover if you want to actually put that into storage mode. So it's something to keep in mind. But just taking a very quick look at a MagLink, an older example from MAGPUL, and just to show you how it's held up over time with wear and tear. There's not a lot of marks on this one, but feel free to check out other product offerings from MAGPUL. This has been another show and tell video. Feel free to check out other show and tell videos on the channel. We also do unboxing videos, as well as a selection of book review media reviews. Feel free to check all those out. Feel free to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time.